yesterday with the but the knowledge of that it is on the table, that it is being thought of. And it's not just the boat. It's not just the boat. There's some other things that I've heard. That's all. That puts some things in question. Are you all in? Are you all in here?
Is this something that the team has to look into?
Well, it's something that we're aware of, and obviously we want to make great decisions on and off the field. And we're hoping that with our time here on the field today, and that when we don't have a script and we're on the call-up periods, that we're making great decisions.
Oh, Stefon Diggs, you're not a regular person. You're a celebrity. You can't be getting high on a boat with a pink substance that I don't even know what it is. I'm not going to speculate, but it's not a good look. You're not a regular person. Plus, they got cameras all over the place. They don't care about Cardi B chilling on the boat. They don't care if Cardi B, but they care about their image, their brand.
It started with a boat. Not just any boat, though, a luxury yacht off the coast of Miami, filled with models, champagne, and just enough chaos to set the internet on fire. In the middle of it all stood Stefon Diggs, wide receiver for the New England Patriots, flashing that signature grin like nothing in the world could touch him. But then the camera caught something else. A blink and you miss it moment that sent TikTok, Twitter, and gossip blogs into meltdown mode. Diggs, surrounded by a group of women, casually handed one of them a tiny bag containing a strange pink powder. That one motion, it lit the fuse. Within hours, the video was everywhere, slowed down, zoomed in, analyzed frame by frame. Internet sleuths jumped to identify the substance, throwing around terms like pink coke and tussie, both trendy party drugs with unpredictable, often dangerous effects. No confirmation ever came, of course, but this was the internet. Facts didn't matter. The visual was all anyone needed to draw their conclusions, and the story was already spiraling. But the clip was just the beginning, because someone unexpected got dragged into the chaos. The internet didn't take long to connect dots that maybe weren't even there, or maybe were. Hours after the boat clip surfaced, Cardi B's name started trending alongside Diggs. At first, people were confused. Then came the rumors. Cardi had been spotted at the same party earlier that weekend. Whispers turned into headlines, and suddenly, everyone was asking the same question. Was she really dating Stefon Diggs? The timing couldn't have been messier. Cardi had only recently finalized her very public, very dramatic breakup with Offset. And here's where things got even more chaotic. Some fans started digging into the timeline, pointing out that if the rumors were true, her connection to Diggs may have started while she was still married and still pregnant. That alone would have been enough to set the internet ablaze. But then Offset added gasoline to the fire. In an interview clip that quickly resurfaced, he implied that Cardi had been unfaithful during her pregnancy. Cardi didn't deny it. In fact, she doubled down with a tweet that simply read, "and did." It was the kind of mic drop moment Cardi's known for, but instead of clearing the air, it only deepened the suspicion. The drama wasn't just about a messy breakup anymore. It was about betrayal, blurred timelines, and a potential new relationship that looked eerily familiar to her last. And if Cardi thought the worst was behind her, she had no idea what was about to come next.
Who was texting and entertaining them. If you ever been in a toxic relationship, I've said bitch cheated on me and all I seen was a text message. Nah, you 8 months pregnant. Why am I seeing smiley faces? I heard it was a picture sent, but whatever. But that's supposedly what.
If there's one thing the internet loves more than a scandal, it's turning on the person they were just defending. As more people watched the boat video and connected it to Cardi's rumored fling with Diggs, the tide shifted fast. Suddenly, she wasn't the victim of Offset's cheating anymore, she was the one under fire. Cardi, never one to stay quiet, took to social media in full-blown damage control mode, but instead of calming the situation, she only added fuel. Her tweets were angry, defensive, and aimed not just at Diggs, but at the blogger who leaked the footage. According to sources close to her, Cardi felt blindsided and humiliated. This wasn't just a bad look, it was a betrayal. The footage painted her as reckless, like she'd swapped one messy man for another, and fans weren't exactly sympathetic. Comments started pouring in, and one tweet in particular hit hard. She left Offset only to catch another player?
A lot of people like to say that I'm a girl's girl. I am not a fucking girl's girl. I actually hate bitches, women, females, girls, whatever the fuck. I hate y'all bitches. You wanna know why? Because y'all the first ones to always talk about other bitches, other women. Always, y'all the first one. A nigga will look at you up and down and they won't say much. You have one fucked up toenail, and you bitches just, yeah, she's pretty, but she got a fucked up toenail. Yeah, she's pretty, but she did this and that. Y'all always talking shit. That's why I don't fucking like y'all. All the time. When I'm scrolling on TikTok and it's like, damn, it's been 2 weeks and you still talking about my body and you look like that. It's just like, all right, enough is enough. Cause it's like, I want to see how you bitches look like after your fucking third baby. Cause this is my fucking third baby in my 30s. I want to see how the fuck your bitches look like. I want to see how your mother look like after she gave birth to your ugly ass. I want to see that. I want to see that. I'm off this bitch. Somebody say I'm spiraling. No, bitch, I'm not spiraling, bitch. This how I talk with my friends. When me and my friends talking shit about bitches, this how we...
For someone who built her brand on confidence and control, this made her look vulnerable. And not in a good way. It was a moment of public unraveling, and her image took a hit that even her most loyal fans struggled to defend. But Cardi wasn't the only one facing a wave of embarrassment. While Cardi was dealing with public backlash, Stefon Diggs was suddenly at the center of a different kind of storm, one that involved exes, alleged hookups, and way too many receipts. The same day the boat clip went viral, one of Diggs' former flames posted a carousel of flirty text messages and never-before-seen photos. The caption, "I don't post him, I am with him in real life, and we do it raw." It was a direct hit, not just at the fans, but at Cardi herself. And it didn't stop there. Another woman, Instagram model Lord Giselle, jumped into the drama claiming Diggs had fathered her child. Then yet another woman chimed in, boldly stating, "I ain't nobody's secret," strongly suggesting she too was involved with him. Within hours, Diggs' romantic history was being dissected across social media. People were building timelines, making flowcharts, and trying to figure out just how many women he'd been involved with. What had started as a drug rumor now looked more like a full-on expose. And it painted Diggs as the kind of man who didn't just flirt with trouble, he attracted it. And just when fans thought it couldn't get worse, an old clip came back to haunt him. Long before Stefon Diggs was making headlines for boat parties and Instagram drama, there were signs. Old ones, buried deep in NFL archives. But the internet never forgets. A resurfaced clip from his early days with the Minnesota Vikings suddenly started gaining traction. In it, Diggs' teammates are being interviewed in the locker room, joking around, laughing, until someone drops a line that, in hindsight, hits differently. "Don't ever introduce your sister to Stefon." Another adds half laughing, "You just don't know what he's going to do next."
What guy on this team would you least like to date your sister?
What the hell? Diggs.
Why Diggs?
Man, no. We're gonna leave it like that. No.
What guy on this team would you least like to date your sister?
Oh, Stefon Diggs.
Why Diggs?
He's crazy. He's just outrageous. Don't know what he's gonna say. Just don't know what to expect every day. So he couldn't date my sister.
What guy on this team would you least like to date your sister?
Least I could date my sister, Diggs. 100%.
Why Diggs?
Because he's not a guy that you want to bring home to your parents. Like, you don't want your sister to bring him home to your parents.
Back then, it was brushed off as locker room banter. But now, it sounded like foreshadowing. Fans clipped it, reposted it, and layered it with dramatic captions. It wasn't just funny anymore, it was a warning. Diggs had a reputation, even before the fame and controversy. And now that past was being stitched into the narrative. His charm, once seen as harmless, now looked calculated. And while Diggs laughed it off, the Patriots weren't amused. By now, the drama had spilled far beyond the timeline. It wasn't just gossip, it was a headline story, and the New England Patriots had no choice but to address it. Sort of. At a press conference that felt more like a PR minefield, head coach Jared Mayo kept things tight-lipped. When asked about Diggs, he simply stated that any conversations with the player would remain private and internal.
Of Stefon Diggs has gotten a lot of traction in the last 24 hours or so. He's on a boat, having a good time, but the question comes in as to a certain substance that people are guessing what is and isn't. Is this something that the team has to look into?
Well, it's something that we're aware of, and obviously we want to make great decisions on and off the field. And we're hoping that with our time here on the field today, and that when we don't have a script and we're on the call-up periods, that we're making great decisions. And so the message will be the same for all our players, that we're trying to make great decisions, and any conversations that I've had with Stefon will remain between him and I.
Translation: they knew it was bad, but they weren't touching it publicly. The NFL has seen its fair share of controversies, but this one came with an uncomfortable mix: potential drug rumors, a messy love triangle, and a franchise player suddenly turning into a liability. Behind the scenes, insiders claimed the team was furious, not just about the video, but about how fast Diggs had become a distraction. And while the organization scrambled to protect its image, the internet didn't wait. Memes, think pieces, and TikTok breakdowns were everywhere, framing Diggs as the latest example of how fast a career can spiral. The damage was done, and the narrative had already moved on. But what about Cardi B? Was this really her way of moving on, or something much worse? For Cardi B, this wasn't just another tabloid story. It was starting to look like a pattern. She's never shied away from being raw and real about her personal life. From toxic relationships to public breakups, she's laid it all out for the world to see. But this time, fans weren't just watching, they were worried. Her decision to distance herself from Offset had seemed like a step toward healing, independence, maybe even growth. But aligning herself with someone like Diggs, especially with his track record, had people asking if she was stuck in the same emotional loop. People started posting clips of Cardi talking about love, loyalty, and heartbreak, only to contrast them with her current situation. Some said she thrived on drama. Others felt she was caught in a cycle she didn't know how to escape. And the worst part, she wasn't saying much anymore. After her initial online blow-up, Cardi went silent. No tweets, no Instagram rants, just quiet. For someone who built her brand on never backing down, the silence was loud. And to her fans, that silence said a lot more than any post ever could. With no official statements, the silence says it all. In the world of celebrity drama, not every story wraps up with a neat little bow. This one didn't even try. No official word from Cardi, no denial or confirmation from Diggs. Just rumors, reactions, and a growing cloud of speculation that refuses to go away. The boat video, still circulating, the exes, still posting, and the public, still divided. Some say Cardi's just living her life. Others think she walked straight into a new mess, one even more toxic than the last. As for Diggs, his on-field talent is being overshadowed by off-field chaos, and it's unclear if his reputation can recover. But one thing's certain, this wasn't just a moment. It became a saga. A story that started with one clip and spiraled into a full-blown scandal with no clear ending. And maybe that's the most unsettling part. Because in a world where nothing stays private and every mistake is permanent, some stories don't fade. They just evolve. And this one, it's far from over. If you thought this story was wild, just wait. There's more coming. Hit that like button if you're still trying to make sense of all this, and subscribe so you don't miss what drops next. Got a theory? Drop it in the comments. Who's really at fault here? Cardi, Diggs, or both? Let's hear it.